just had a huge, nasty burp before the stream started. Let me make sure sounds good. I need to be actually talking. Hold on, we have to do this again. Roll it back now, y'all. 5 hops these times. Oh, I need to keep speaking. Sounds fine. Okay. We back. We back. We black in like half the hand, because that's the color of the glove. And the color of my mic. And kind of the color of my headset too. In fact, it's the color of a lot of my electronics, if I think about it. It's because, especially that shiny black color, it's connotated with wealth and luxury, so that's why it's used a lot in electronics. Yeah. And Hoodle McScoodle, hello. My name is 10K Hours, putting the time so my art is no longer a crime, and today we are back at it like a good habit. Gonna be continuing line art today. I definitely want to finish up Sheena, and I'm pretty close with that. I need to fix this shoe because it's way too thick. I need some stuff over here. Then I'm gonna start with the finish with the scissors. I'm gonna start with the bees. Most everything else is gonna be pretty easy. Actually, I might just do everything but the bees and then do the bees. But yar, we close though. So very close. Anyways, how y'all doing? We're just gonna hop in. Also, I'm gonna be leaving a little early today. And I'm not even gonna lie. The reason why is because there's a stream I want to watch that starts at 9. That is the real reason why. And it's because Hololive Ian is having a rap battle, and I just want to see it. Callie's hosting a Hololive Ian rap battle, and everyone's gonna be there. I just gotta know. I just gotta know. Mori Calliope. I keep trying to get into her, but she's never really clicking with me. Don't get me wrong. I like the stuff she does, but her solo streams don't really interest me a lot. She has a lot of good clips. I think back when she first started, like some of the clips I see of her where she was a little bit more unhinged, probably liked her more. Now that she's just a little bit more hinged, I don't know. Not quite my style. I still watch her for like her debuts and things like that, new outfits and things like that. That's just a usual stream. I feel the same way about Fuwamoko, honestly. Just not quite my style. Of course, I'm also the guy who started out watching so many Gremlins. Now if there's not a little Grem in there, I'm just like, what's even the point? Where's the trolling? Although watching Gigi and Callie together is hysterical. Oh my god. the clips of that one stream where Gigi and Kelly were doing playing Minecraft together, and Kelly was on vocal rest because she had hurt her because she had lost her voice, but she still wanted to stream, so she was doing like silent streams. Oh my god, that stream with her with Gigi was so fucking funny because she was just dying of laughter the entire time. But she was trying not to talk, and it made everything just so much funnier. Oh my god. I gotta say, when Gigi first debuted, I was like not having it. I was like, yeah, she just seems like whatever, crazy one. But she has popped the fuck off. I think Raura is still the person who has like the biggest growth, but Gigi is your Oshi's Oshi. Because, what is it? Liz is still the most subscribed. But at the same time, I think her growth has slowed a little. She's still growing. She's still growing a lot. I think her growth has slowed a little. And Raura seems to be picking up. Raura's really good at building a community. Really good at building a community. She has plenty of experience doing that. And she had a fan base that deeply loved her coming into this. They must be so excited. That's gotta be actually like really cool to be like an OG fan of somebody and then see them get into like an agency like Hololive or something like that and getting to go over there and be like, yeah, wow, weird. I think she's really cool too. And then all of a sudden there's a ton of new people that love your Oshi as much as you do. But you're gonna sit there and be smug and be like, hey, I liked her before she was cool. That's gotta be fun. I don't necessarily want to do that, but it's gotta be fun. Of course, I don't know anybody that I would do that with. Maybe if one of the phase girls I watch ends up in Hololive. That'd be crazy. Of course, I don't think any of them would want that. Maybe Clara. Maybe. I don't think Sheena would want that because it's going to be a little bit too much work. And I think she kind of wants to just do things in her own way. She kind of strikes me as the, you know what, I'm going to go at my own pace kind of person. And Hololive I don't think is really a your pace kind of place. Certainly are like breaks and whatnot. You can like pump the brakes and certain stuff, but other things it's like, hey yo, you gotta like learn dances and stuff for fests and whatnot. Speaking of that's coming up. I have no idea if I'm gonna watch. I don't even know if I can afford to watch anything. I might try to watch like the free stuff. That's about it. I'll actually look at like what the online ticket prices are. One of these years, it'd be super cool to actually go to that myself. But I'm pretty sure the only way the way we'd be able to go to Fest is if I'm actually part of Hololive. That ain't happening. Okay, there we go. Alright, legs are looking better. I still can't believe I was the person that drew this. I think this is a common thing with artists where struggle, 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 and all of a sudden you feel like you just randomly hit gold once. I'm sure my next drawing after this is not going to be nearly this good. No way. There's no way. I'm going to struggle so much and not know what's going on and be like, I can't draw anymore. Everything sucks. I hate it all. I just know that's going to happen, and I'm preparing myself for it now. For when that inevitably happens. That. We can't see the other one at all because it's on the other side. And then she's going to have hair that's coming down right here. That's just behind. Hey, this is kind of funky. Always before stream, it's always like, yeah, I'm about ready to go on stream. I don't have background music. Ah, fuck. And then it's just me scrambling around. Trying to find some suitable music that I like for the stream. It's usually pretty easy. There's a billion of these, like, oh, like Tokyo vibes, 1980s jazz, blah blah blah. They just throw like a whole bunch of like buzzwords in there. They don't mean anything because it's all like just the same like royalty-free jazz songs that they've just put together into compilations. But at the end of the day, people think they're different, so like, oh, I'll click it, and then it's like, it starts different. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of these that are just total rip-offs of another. I think more than anything, it's the art on the front that is doing the heavy lifting. A lot of them have good art, although I fear it might be AI art sometimes. There's a couple times where it's like, that's AI. That's AI for sure. And it's whenever like the characters just look like way too smooth. I'm like, ugh. Wrong one. But this one is actually kind of funky. I don't believe I've heard this one before. Launch, I've heard it a billion times, and you can find past VODs with it in it. Thought something looked a little off. There we go. Okay, hold on. gonna be a weird one. Because this hair is going through. Going through the see-through parts of this. One thing that I learned randomly in like a Drawfee episode a long time ago was watching where things connect. Also, it can look like, or also it'll trick our eyes into thinking like it's all part of like the same picture, and be like, wait, that looks weird for a second. Like, especially when everything's like 2D. So for example, I bumped the microphone twice, sorry about that. So for the example, like, if my hand, let's see, like I want the microphone in the foreground and my hand in the background, but I accidentally make like the curve the same. 3D you can tell the difference. 2D you can't, because you'll be like, why is he like grabbing the mic like this or like this? And it's really hard to tell the difference. With shading you can do that for sure, but like that little bit of space or like things a little bit different and not quite lining up perfectly actually help you give the proper depth. The thing about 2D art is it's all about tricking the eye. It's making it think that things are 3D when they are not. Luckily our eyes are fine with being tricked like that. So it's not too big a deal. Which is honestly good, or else you wouldn't be able to interpret symbols. And written language would be nigh impossible. There's gotta be some, like, survival reason behind it, too. Was it just pure communication? Like... like the proto-humans that could actually like communicate with each other and be like, oh yeah, it's over here, and like be like, this is river, this is tree, this is rock, and actually be able to like understand that and communicate to that. They're just ones that want to live. Hello, Red Narrow. I called you Red Narrow. I called you Red Narrow Nerd. Sorry about that. Red Narrow Bird. How's it going? It's going good. Sorry for accidentally roasting you. You nerd with an IRD. Is that how you spell that word? Oh no, I'm a nerd. No! Ah! What just happened? Where'd it go? Oh, I touched that. Okay. How'd you go? How'd it go today? Did you talk to her or not? It's fine if not. But I know you were pretty nervous yesterday, so I wanted to see if anything's changed. Big lines going out because I'm on that roll right now. Let's see. I'm a nerd, it's fine. But my day was bad just because it was slow, didn't get a chance to talk to her. Oh, because she was with her friends. Yeah, which is fine. I started thinking because somebody randomly complimented me on guitar playing. Realization, nobody knows me. Nobody knows me, if that makes sense. Nobody knows you. Or do they just know you as like the guitar kid? Because that happens in high school. I had a friend named Michael who was in the band with me, and he could play the bass guitar, and he would play it for like the pep band, which is like the band in the, which is like, you know, whenever you're at like a school's basketball game and the band that's in the stands and whatnot. You're in school, you know this, but a lot of people just knew him as the bass guitar guy. That happens. Honestly, at least I know you as something. I was just known by my last name, which I'm not saying. And in fact, I was called by my last name so much by so many people. There's a bunch of people that thought that was my first name. And there's some other stuff that happens. I may have mentioned it last night, but I'm extremely introverted at school. I don't have any friends or anyone to talk to. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Well, hey. It's never too late to change that. However, the thing with that kind of stuff is that it's kind of on you to change it. Which stinks and is hard, but it's the truth. Although I gotta say, I was known as the weird kid in high school. Because I was a little weirdo. Those were not my good years. I did not have any social awareness. And it showed. I got bullied a lot. But what really makes me think deep is how they said it. When they complimented, it sounded weirdly fake, and I can't describe it. Well, the fuck, my internet is AIDS. 1 second. They might not just have known. They might have just been trying to pay you a compliment and weren't sure quite how to say it. This is something that I realized that I was missing. And why these scissors always look weird to me is because I didn't have them actually cutting. They were just kind of like being dragged along the outside of the folds in reality or whatever it was, rather than sticking into it. And I realized that as I was sitting here about to start. I was like, wait a second, hold up. Oh, by the way, I started a little early tonight because I'm going to be finishing a little bit early, around 9-ish. a second. My internet is so bad I'm going to use my phone's data with my hotspot for my PC to work. Oh my god. Holy cow. Gotta reset your router. What was I saying? Oh man, this is gonna be fun to do the line art for. Luckily, I don't have to make it look the same on both sides. Or no one's gonna be comparing them directly to each other. Only I will ever know if this is messed up. I've been working better. It's working better somehow. My router's been acting very weird lately. Don't know why. So I missed so much of what you said. Oh man, I don't remember what I said. Oh, I was saying like I was a little weird dude in high school. Not a whole lot of social awareness. It's the kind of thing that, let's see, not really able to read a room. And just really just annoying. I was bullied a bunch. And there was a bunch of it. Some of it I brought on myself. Most of it I did not. Like, what is it? Especially in band. I was in the drum line, and frankly, I sucked at it. I'm gonna be just real. I did not want to put in the time or the effort to really learn any of this stuff, and I've been playing some of those instruments for years, like the percussion section in the back, and I still sucked at it. It also didn't help that I grew a ton. Oh man, what is it? I went from pretty much my entire my entire elementary school being like this. I think I was maybe the second shortest boy in my 5th grade class. There was like a couple girls and like one other guy that was shorter than me, but in like my entire like graduating 5th grade class, I was like the second shortest boy. And by the time I was graduating from high school, I was one of the tallest. So I had this huge growth spurt, and I was really tall and gangly and lanky. And on top of that, I was going to high school in my hometown. But after 5th grade, me and my family moved away, and I was gone for 6th and 7th grade year. And I came back for 8th grade year. And a lot of people that I had been friends with and probably would have stayed friends with if I had been there the whole time didn't really want to be friends with me anymore, which really sucked. So high school was a bit rough starting out because it was like, even though I had been back for a year, I didn't really have any friends going into it. I eventually made friends. Actually, probably the easiest way to make friends is joining a club. I joined theater. I became a theater kid. That's where I made most of my friends. That and marching band. So let's see. It's still bad. Dang. I'm gonna update my PC. BRB. Alright. Alright. I did make this bigger. That's why it's so much more difficult to draw with. I'm back on my PC. I have no idea what's up with my PC internet. I should mention I've been under a snowstorm essentially, so it could be hindering my internet. That's true. Oh, you guys are getting hit with a snowstorm. Thankfully, that seems to have passed for us. It's just bitterly cold up here. The low today was 1 degrees. And that's about how warm it was when I was driving into work this morning. And I think the high was 18, which is about what it was when I was leaving work. So it's just super fucking cold. Although I think today was the worst, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it gets better from here. And that's weird. It's like next week it's in like the 50s. Yeah, today was the worst. Actually, no, sorry. The coldest it got today was -7. And then tomorrow's supposed to be pretty cold too. Then randomly, for no reason, over the next few days, it warms up to the 60s. It's not even a joke. So tomorrow, the high is 25. And then on Monday, the high is 61. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And then it's just supposed to be in like the 50s, 60s. What the fuck is going on? Anyways. This is probably the worst week for winter weather this year though, so I'll take it. Especially since I gotta go in a lot more next week. And I don't want to be driving through this snow and whatnot. Ugh. My car's banged up enough as it is. I don't want to be adding to it. I mean, it's still freezing. I should probably get warm enough by next week. Hopefully 50s. Yeah. Weatherman. And then it'll get cold again. Like it always does. That's a pet peeve of mine. Especially during spring and summer, while people are like, it's like cold one day and then it's warm the next. It just keeps going back and forth. I wish it would just pick one and stay on that side. And people saying that is a pet peeve of mine. Because it does that every year. It does that every year. It's always done that. And people complain about it every year. I'd be like, listen, this would be weird. Listen, I would complain about this if this was weird, but it's not weird. That's like complaining that... I was about to say it's like complaining that the leaves are falling, but there's definitely people who complain about that. Just be thankful that you have some warm days sprinkled in between. The only ones that are annoying is when it's like warm in the morning and then it cools off a lot at night. So you go outside like, I don't need a jacket today. Do. And then you leave later and you're going home and you're like, I was a fool. Since it seems like my internet might have recovered a bit, sorry if it seems almost intrusive that I've been talking a bit about my personal life, and it'll be that way for a little bit, maybe not long. Like my grammar was good. I plan on writing something else, but changed it last minute. It's fine. It's just us in here. I don't got any stream rules like that or anything. If there's 1,000 people, yeah. But it's literally just us. I don't care. You're fine, dude. Although I don't think... I'm anywhere good of an artist yet for 1,000 people to show up for me to listen to lo-fi. Like, I'm pretty sure even artists that are that good don't bring those kind of numbers. Well, maybe some. But they're all cute girls. Apparently set a day for my school's homecoming. I'm not going, I don't care about dances. Homecoming? This late in the school year? Yeah, it's third quarter. Homecoming is usually in the fall. I'm trying to think if there is something around this time of school year. We maybe had like a winter jam or something, I don't know. Because I feel like I remember something like this when I was in school. Maybe like a homecoming for basketball? We might have done that sometimes? Winter homecoming? I always associate homecoming with the fall and football. Although I think I remember something. I never went to school dances, except for like my prom. And I did not have a date to my prom. Because there was one girl I wanted to ask, but she already had a date. And there was no one else I really wanted to ask. So I just went to my prom stag, which means by myself. Well, I hung out with a group of friends. They all had dates. And we had a meal at one of the girls' house. I went there and I remember her mom was like, "Oh, where's your date?" "I don't have one." "Oh!" I had fun. As with a bunch of people, went to after prom. Had a grand old time. Little did I know that would be indicative of things to come. That's all right. There we go. Ah, that was not what I wanted. All right, I'm gonna hide this. Yeah. Okay, I don't like how perfectly this like slots into here. It makes it look weird and like it's intentional and fake. Like how like perfectly this fits in here without like overlapping with anything. I think I'm gonna change something real quick. I think I'm gonna change this so it's like behind this. This little like ribbon thing. Make it look a little bit more natural and like get a little bit less planned out. It comes from like way up here though. That's the thing. Maybe I'll have it come out further. Yeah, how does that look? Let's flip it. How does it look? This sleeve also is just kind of small. I think I'm going to puff out this sleeve a little bit more actually. So that it's like just covering it up a little bit. That'll make it look a little bit less intentional as well. But it was one of those things where it was like, it looked too perfect, so it looked off. You know what I mean? There we go. That actually helped it a lot. Hold on. And I also need to look at her face when it's flipped. And without all the lines underneath. Yeah, her cheek has got a little puffed out. It's really slight, but I made her cheek just a little bit too puffy. It makes it look like she's doing this just to one side. Which is not good. It's not what I want. That's why you flip your canvas, kids. There we go. Oh. All right, now flip it back. How's it look? There we go. I also think this piece, more than anything, has helped me develop a sort of style. That's one thing I've been feeling I've been lacking. Any sort of style. Now our cheek looks crunchy. There's just a bunch of lines mixed together. There we go. Oh yeah, looking a lot better from a distance too. Yeah, there we go. Looking good, my brother. Oh yeah, and it actually like cutting in looks a lot better too. I'm so glad I thought to do that. Oh my goodness. Apparently my internet wants to be bad again. Woohoo! I still don't know how to feel about that person that I had the quick chat with. So now even it comes to knowing if certain things are signs someone likes me or they're just being nice. Yep. That's normal. And let me tell you what. You're never going to be able to get that 100% down. In fact, you only may be able to get that because everyone's going to be different. You're only really ever going to be able to figure that 100% for maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 people. And them you'll be able to read like that. But reading that for everybody is crazy because everybody's different. No one can be able to do that unless they're like someone who spent their entire life just studying body language and like how to read people. Maybe then. But nah. Only way to know is to get to know them. That's it. All right, let's get this back in here. Let's start doing the bees. I love these little guys so much. Someone's driving by in a hurry. And then there's my little frozen bok choy. There we go. Okay. And then, oh, that's not what I want. Each of these little guys is going to be so much fun. Hard part is going to be not laughing at some of them. Because every time I look at the one that forgot, it just makes me laugh. Oh my god. Just had a sudden craving for a muffin. Oh, I have leftover banana bread. I might eat some of that after this. There we go. Maybe I shouldn't fill these in. That's got to be a job for the actual painting process. Or the coloring process, I should say. I put them out like, I wonder how tomorrow will play out. Yep. It's alright. You might get a chance, you might not. Frankly, you never know. And you just gotta do what you can in the moment. Let's see how many of these I can get done. I got 40 minutes before I gotta go. I wanna get it, see if I can get 3 Bs done. Although, it's probably gonna be better if they actually look decent, because I gotta color these. I don't know what I want to do for the rendering, the actual like coloring process though. Here's the thing, I have not found a way of like shading that I love yet. I'm getting closer. And it's one of those things where every time I do it, I like it a little bit more. But I'm still not satisfied. So I'm hoping this time, now that I'm really happy with how the actual like drawing itself has turned out, and I'm not obsessing about that, I really want to make sure I really want to get the shading process to a place where I'm also really happy with it, because I really want this one to be good. And my ultimate goal is pie in the sky. It's like, maybe she'll use this for a thumbnail. That'd be pretty cool. The shading's gonna have to be on point though. I forgot the eyebrows. Hold up. There we go. Yay! Man, I hope I can remember what I did for the face on the day of my next drawing. Oh man. This is the first time I've drawn a face. I'm like, hey, yo, that just looks like a face. Let's see. Multiple people asked if I would do homecoming. Granted, only 2 and 1 was a teacher. I didn't see why I would go. I wouldn't have anything to do. Yeah, it's always better to do those things with a group. Oh, I forgot the screw. I get it. I didn't go to many school dances. They're not a big deal, although this is going to be really your only chance to do these. So don't completely neglect going to them, because you'll really never get a chance to do these again. Maybe in college if you go, maybe. Well, there'll be some that'll in college, but it's going to be a different vibe, you know? Because you'll be in college. But go to one to say that you went. Well, I think one of the things I was saying while you were gone is I didn't have a lot of friends in school, but the main place I made them was in clubs. Like, you can play the guitar. I don't know if you have anything at your school, like any sort of like music clubs or anything that could take a guitar player. But if you want to meet people and make friends, that's the way to do it. Because you're going to be with people, you're going to be working close. You're automatically just going to get to know each other. And as long as you take the time to just talk with them, you'll get to know them and make friends pretty easily. My parents had a rule. They said, hey, when you're in high school, we don't care what you do. You just have to do something extracurricular. I chose, me and all my siblings were already doing like music and in band and whatnot. So we had like marching band and that. But I decided to be the theater kid and I had fun doing that. Parents were happy. I was happy. It was all good. So, yeah. Alright, I need to do this guy or else I'm just gonna keep laughing at him. He's so sad. He's like, I forgot. I don't know what it was though. Did I drop it? Oh, poor little guy. The part that stinks about these things is that these bees are not a design she came up with. They're just a plushie she really likes. And she's incorporated into her branding. In fact, more often than not, she's probably done more to sell the plushies for this company than her own merch sometimes. It's really funny. So I'm playing Arkham Knight in a music club, and I know one guy that also plays guitar, but we don't talk much. Oh, okay. Well, hey. At least you're in something. Just strike up a conversation here and there, and let things go where they go. Oh man. I think you might be able to... Let's see. Thinking about all of this stuff, and especially thinking back on my own time in high school, there's something I still do not understand to this day. Because I was bad at this too. But whenever we would do something in class, when the teacher was like, all right, everybody go grab a partner. To this day, I had no idea how everybody in the class could just turn around and already have like a partner in like 2 seconds without saying anything. Meanwhile, I'm like, I would turn to somebody like, hey, like it's been we had just gotten the assignment. There's no possible way that they could have figured this out beforehand. But he'd be like, "Hey, do you want to be partners?" Like, "Sorry, I'm already partners with this person over here," and literally everybody else, and it'd always be just me and this one other kid who no one else was partners with. That would end up being partners. Like, why am I always stuck with this guy? Still don't know how they did that. One of these days I'll know. Teach me your ways. Although I was also the smart guy. I was really good at vocabulary. There was one time, what is it? This is maybe my biggest flex in high school. But we had to take like an economics class. And I read a lot, so I picked up words real quick. And it was like we were like doing like a year end or like semester end, because it was only a one semester class. And we were doing like a end of semester like review day, and he decided to, because whatever team and he would always like, there was like 4 rows of desks, and we would always have it so like, all right, it would be and it was, or like vertical columns of desks. He'd be like, all right, it's this column, this column, this column, and this column. Whichever column I was in was always the one that won because I knew all the answers. So at one point, when it came to the end of the year, he was like, all right, you get to pick 2 people, and then it's you versus the entire rest of the class, and we still beat. But it was just me and 2 other people. That's maybe my biggest flex as a high school. I was the kid where whenever the teacher was like asking questions of the class, they had to look at me and be like, now don't blurt out the answer. And then they would say something, and then I was just like, oh, it's that. And blurt it out anyways. Oh, man. I was that kid. Let me tell you what. Those skills do not transfer over to college. They don't. I breezed my way through high school. Then I got to college, and I actually had to do work, and I couldn't just coast off of my natural intelligence and ability. And my deeply undiagnosed ADHD kicked my butt the entire time. I did not graduate with any sort of honors. In fact, I like to say I graduated rather than cum laude or summa cum laude. I graduated thank you loud. Thank you loud. I tell you what, C's do get degrees. There are still times that I was still under some of the stress of, especially like, it was like last couple years and semesters in college, like trying to finish up classes that I had like just straight up failed and like retake stuff. It was bad. Because I was not ready for that. And I really should have paid more attention. Because what is it? I went to school to be a theater teacher. So I was in like both the theater and the education department. And I remember specifically, it was like my senior year, and I was about to start student teaching, and we had to like go before like the people who were like the deans of like the different colleges in the like education department. There was like the communications, there was like the early childhood, and then there was like we had a pretty big like special education department in my school where they literally train people to be special ed teachers. And I learned this However, the lady who was the dean of that at our school was a little different. She wasn't. When I always thought special ed, I always thought like kids with like Down syndrome or like extremely severe autism, where they're like nonverbal and things like that. But no, this lady's doctorate, her thesis, her passion was dealing with students with ADHD. And when I was going in to be a student teacher and I had to do a little presentation in front of all of them before we got like our assignments, afterwards, she came up to me and was like, "Hey, I really liked your presentation. Tell me, what medication are you on for ADHD?" And I looked at her and said, "Medication?" And she is maybe the only person in my entire life to give me a completely unironic, "Oh, sweetie." And she really encouraged me to be like, "Hey, you need to be looking into this. Like, you need to go talk to your doctor. It's bad." At the time, I was like, "Nah, I'm fine. I wasn't fine. I struggled a lot, and it wasn't until I was like 30 years later that I finally took it seriously. And I really struggled being a teacher for a long time because of that. Yeah. I really should have taken that more seriously, because looking back on it, I was like, that was really dumb. Other than a medical professional, she's probably one of the most like educated people I could have met on that subject. She took one look at me. She watched me talk for like 5 to 10 minutes and was like, "This baby needs Adderall." She was right. Oh. Let's see. By the way, I know how people would pick their friends in an instant. There were some people that were so close to their friends that it was just like natural. Yeah, that was because high school. Because before high school, I was a bit like that. Now I'm an even bigger outcast. I'm sorry. Did your friends go to a different school, or y'all just grow apart? Both happen, unfortunately. I'm in a Catholic school. I'm in a private to public. Ah, I gotcha. So you went to a different school. Yeah. Changing schools is rough. I did that 3 times. Except for it was all the different states. So there's a state I grew up in. And then after 5th grade, I moved to an entirely different state. Then after 6th grade, I moved to another state. And then for 8th grade, I moved back to the state I grew up in my hometown that I was born in and grew up in. So all of my middle school years, I was in a different school. And it's a pain it's hard to start over from 0 every time. Although, it does get easier. If you ever do go to college, one of the nice things about that is that everybody's starting from 0 there pretty much, unless they came in with friends, which happens. But even then, they have a lot of things. So if you're like, all right, meet everybody on your floor and whatnot. So it's... As well as they'll have we had sister and brother wings, so and it was usually in my school we had the guys and the girls dorms are always near opposites of each other, So it was whoever was in the floor, like on your mirror opposite side, that was your sister wing. And there was a bit of a stigma about like dating in between wings. We would call it wingcest. Like, you don't date people from your sister wing. It's called wingcest. Although I did my last year. I was like, screw that. She's cool. But I don't know if other schools do that, but especially in college, they like to, because everybody's new, they like to make that a little bit easier. It's a little bit more difficult to do in high school, especially unless you're coming in as a freshman. Like, this is a funny term. It is. Still laugh about it to this day. College is weird. It's one of those things that I am not using my college education at all right now, but I am glad I went because I did use it for a bit. And it did help me give some good perspective. That was nice to give back to students, especially when I was working in high school and being like, hey, I don't know what I want to do with once I get out of high school. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I didn't right away either. I took 2 years off, kind of, after high school. I spent 1 year doing an internship with this ministry down in Texas, and then another year just actually living in the city that I live in now, and going to working a job and going to community college because I knew I wanted to go to college, but I didn't know what for. And I'm glad I had those 2 years but I knew what college I wanted to go to, and I only ever applied to that one college, and I got into it, which is not what you're supposed to do. Don't do that. I'm a bad example, but but I had no idea what I wanted to do until I went to like an actual what's it called, a preview weekend at the college, and they mentioned that they had a degree path specifically if you wanted to be like a speech, drama, and debate teacher. And I was like, that's it. That's exactly what I want to do. Because I knew I loved doing theater and stuff like that. And from high school, I joined up to be a theater kid on just a pure whim and loved it. I was a freshman in high school, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out and do the high school things. What is something that's going on? There's this play that's coming up. Sure, I'll audition for that. Got a part. It was really funny. I played. It was a play called Hotel La Roche, and it was about a fancy hotel that is being overrun by cockroaches. And at one point, there's a cockroach that mutates into like a giant version that likes to sing and dance. But I played like extremely spoiled like child star that was staying at the hotel. However, at that time, I was the tallest person in the cast. So I'm walking out in like one of those like little hats with a propeller on it, like little kids' clothes, like, yay! It was really funny. I had a great time. Kept doing plays after that. So I knew I enjoyed it, but the allure of being a starving artist was lost on me. So I was like, well, how do I combine what I like to do, or what do I do with all of these things? And a couple years off to mature and work and grow a bit more, and actually seeing what's out there. made me realize what I actually wanted to do. And then actually doing that made me realize maybe I didn't want to do it. Because I do remember there was that same college where I would have all these ideas for stories, and it finally occurred to me one day, like, hey, if something happened to you and you died, what would happen to all these stories? I'm like, well, they just die with me. And I realized if I wanted to tell them, I'd have to figure out how to tell them. And the only media that made sense in my mind was art. And I remember walking around on the campus thinking that, having that realization, and me already being into like, I was like maybe 1 to 2 years into my degree path already. That thought scared me because I'd never really drawn before. So I was like, that's something for later me to figure out. And I waited a little bit too long on that, but I eventually did. We're working on it now. Let's see. As of right now, my biggest worry, aside from school, is my mom's mental health. She's been through the switching schools thing all her life, so she really knows how it feels, but she's also getting a teeth replacement. Ooh. When she has to quit smoking, I just hope she's not worrying too much. Yeah. Honestly, the quitting smoking is going to be the hardest part, I'm sure. Luckily, she'll have some extra incentive of her health there, and she's probably not going to be able to, but quitting smoking is tough. I once knew a guy, and let's see. I once knew a guy, his name was, his name was Mike, and dude was a former alcoholic. He said that he hadn't drank in 25 years, and to this day it didn't, and to that day it didn't really, and after like 25 years he didn't really have any, he's a former alcoholic, I should say. He didn't really have any desire to. However, he hadn't smoked in 16 years, and every once in a while he would still get a craving for a cigarette. So those things are nasty, man. Those things are nasty. So, one thing I will say, and I've had a couple friends that have quit smoking, is that when she starts, she's going to go through some pretty, especially if she's quitting cold turkey, she's going to go through some pretty intense mood swings and be extremely like grouchy and irritable for a bit. But just know that's her body reacting to the lack of nicotine rather than actually anything malicious on her part. That stuff can really affect you. So I've had friends I grew up with who quit smoking, and that happened to them. And then also talking to other people as well. And she's already grouchy from her work. Yeah, it'll probably get worse. She's probably going to, let's see. I'm sure the doctor will have things for her to do, but just know that it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, but that's kind of the nature of things. Sold on this question mark. I think I want it to be a little bit smaller. It's a little too big right now. cannot draw. What is this? Hold on. There we go. I'll draw an actual question mark and just add to it. There we go. That looks a lot better. Oh yeah. Speaking of Arkham, apparently everybody's playing it right now. Like, Sheena, who I'm doing the picture for, she's playing Arkham City right now. And then apparently, I don't know what started this, but Kai Cenat is apparently playing it too. I don't watch him except for in random clips that appear on Twitter, but... that dude's always doing something. I can never believe... who is it? ISO Speed is the guy who... like, what the fuck is his life? Because... all of a sudden I'll just be going along, like, on some social media or something, and I'll be like, Speed's jumping over car. Speed's getting harassed by fans in Netherlands. Speed is now was the mayor of Brazil for 1 hour. I'm like... what is this guy doing? How does this happen? Is this the guy who accidentally exposed his nutsack on stream once? Which is true. But that used to be the only way that I knew him. I was like, oh yeah, he's the guy who accidentally exposed his nutsack on stream once. And now he's the mayor of freaking Rio de Janeiro. I'm like, okay, well, what is this guy doing? Let's see. I really gotta fix this. Yeah, I know. Nick Nut is nuts. Wild Heart. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Why question marks? So hard to draw 3D. I know. Wait, so I'm not the only one who's noticed the Arkham thing? I thought I was going nuts. No! No, you're not. I noticed a bunch of other people playing it. Well, it is also for sale on Steam right now for like $9 for the entire collection. So I'm pretty sure that more than anything is the reason why Kai started playing it. But there was one other streamer that was playing it, then I decided to play it because of them. Then it went on sale as soon as I bought it. Obviously. Now Kai is playing it. Now it's probably going to, once he plays it, probably a bunch of other people are going to play it too. Because dude is a trendsetter to say the least. Alright, looks like I was only able to get 2 of the B's done. Sorry, I just can't. Alright, this is the one that I'm probably going to struggle with the most. Because I want him to be all wrapped up in this string, but I feel like I went a little overboard with it here. And this happy one. Oh god, I love him. Let's see, I just been playing because I got my save back. Yeah. I feel bad. Wait, I suppose his dick? Sorry. You guys gotta be tired, right? I feel like it's gotta be exhausting to be ISO Speed. Because I feel like every week he's somewhere, like, doing something crazy. Like, last time I saw him, he was, like, doing WWE with like Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? What is happening? Dude's gotta be tired. He's all over the world doing everything. Like, I'd be exhausted. I just want to go home. I'd be a grouchy mess. I don't know how he does it. Anyways, tomorrow I'm gonna finish up the last of the bees, and then that's gonna be it for the line art. And then it's gonna be coloring. And the bees are probably gonna be the easiest. Although making them look fuzzy is gonna be fun. Well, actually, probably not. I'm probably gonna use up some watercolors for that. I have an idea. Like getting a little bit of a lighter color watercolor and just, yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Where are the watercolors? Here. It's like, get this, and then, maybe not quite that. I don't like that tool. Because it's round. Maybe like a watery brush is what we actually want. Why is that not doing color? I don't know. Nope, that's not what we want. That's a splash. Don't want that. Maybe this soft bleed. Yeah, but we want it really... Actually... Maybe the whitewash? Oh, that's way too much. Yeah, but it's this, but I want to turn down the opacity. Where is that? Where are those options? Help! Why am I blind? There we go. I turn down the opacity, it's still way too big. But do you like something like that? And then blur it. Yeah, something like that. Give a little bit of a kind of fuzz to it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I also got he also got badly injured too. Alright, thanks for letting me guess rant for a bit. No problem. It's good to get this stuff out in the open. Alright, with that, I do need to go in just a couple minutes, so I think I'm gonna call it here. But it's been fun. It's been real fun, but it's not been a fun reel, and I will probably see you later. You have a good rest of your night, alright? Peace. Bye. Good night.